Hey guys, it's Kaylee back for more of Mental Talk. So today we're going to be talking about the Capitol riots that happened on January 6th and kind of how that's taken a toll on police officers, well, basically just law enforcement in general. So this article comes from USA Today. Basically throughout it describes the Capitol riots, different helplines that police have the opportunity to use, but so basically, for the Capitol riots, 5 people died and 140 officers in Washington, D.C. And the United States Capitol Police Force were injured because of the attack. 2 more officers who were at the Capitol on that day took their own lives in the weeks following, but it wasn't decided or not if it was directly because of that. But John Violante, a 23-year-old police veteran and a professor at the University of Buffalo, he focuses on police stress and mental health, said that the Capitol riot was the culmination of a tumultuous year for members of law enforcement, beginning with the nationwide protests over the police death of George Floyd and the subsequent scrutiny of police reform. Last year was really a rough year for everybody, but it was also a really rough year for anyone who works in law enforcement because kind of the stigma that went around of all cops are bad. Whether it's true, whether it's not true, whether you agree, whether you don't agree, that was still the idea that was going around, and a lot of people do agree with that. A study in 2018 said that more law enforcement officers die by suicide than in the actual line of duty, and I feel like that's something that needs to be pointed out more often, because they do deal with a lot. They deal with domestic violence, they deal with murder, robbery, all these different things. Researchers say that police officers are at a higher risk for depression, PTSD, and suicide risk more than any other profession, yet they often decline to receive treatment, according to the Rutterman Family Foundation, which is a nonprofit group that focuses on mental health research. I think, as we know, every person out there deserves to have help with their mental health, but obviously not everyone wants it. I think that it varies depending on who you are as a person, if you want it or not, and that's okay if you don't want it. If you do, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. But the number of recorded deaths actually may not even be right, because according to Blue Health, this is a tracking for the number of confirmed suicides by police officers. They found that 176 police officers died in last year, so in 2020, and 18 so far in 2021 this year. But the thing is that's not all of them, because there's some families that choose not to report it and they choose to opt out of going into that. But there are also some that they want to rule accidental because they don't want to go into that stigma. Throughout this article, it talks about different lawmakers trying to get it passed so that police officers did get more mental health, and that there is more out there for them. But my favorite quote in this is by Representative Susan Wild of Pennsylvania. She says that instead of just burying and not talking about it and being ashamed of mental health issues in our families, let's normalize mental health care, and that's going to require resources. Mental health issues are always going to be around, but they are going to be worse until we as a nation, as a world, decide to actually sit there and help them with everybody, not just with the people who we think need it the most. Because more often than not, the people that have it the worst, you can't tell. So that's all today. I think I'm going to kind of leave it there for you guys to think about. Stay safe, stay healthy, and in this cold winter weather, stay warm. See you guys.